It's Sunday, December 4th, 2022. I'm TC Kirkham, and this is the Kirkham Report. Hey, VC guys and gals, TC Kirkham, the Kirkham Report. Welcome to this week's show. Sorry it's a day late. We've got all kinds of interesting things going on around here and stuff we're dealing with, so it's a little bit crazy right now. But still, we wanted to get things up, and I wanted to make sure we got the show in this week. So here we are, and it's time for this week's cover story. I know this has been the talk of the town all over the place in the music industry, and it really, it has to be said. You have to have some sympathy for people with mental issues, but there are also times when that sympathy goes out the window, and that happened this week when rapper and artist Kanye West, otherwise known as Ye, went on InfoWars with Alex Jones and started spouting even more anti-Semitic things than he's been doing over the past 6 weeks or so. Kanye first started having some anti-Semitic remarks over the last couple of months on various television shows, various appearances, live appearances and such, but he took it to a new level on Alex Jones' syndicated radio show by declaring, quote, "I like Hitler," close quote, and also stating that people were mistreating Nazis in America. Kanye has not been a well-wrapped person for most of his career. Going way back to the incident at the MTV Video Awards with Taylor Swift 10 years ago. But this week he took it to a new level, and what had already started as a self-destruction mode as of 6 weeks ago when he started being dropped by sponsors, by other creators he was working with. This time he came back, got his Twitter account back from new owner Elon Musk, and promptly had it deleted again after tweeting a swastika. Now, I understand that most people are aware that Ye is treated for bipolar syndrome. He does take medication, but it doesn't seem like he's been taking very much of it lately. And if there's one person who goes off and does this, it can spread like wildfire. This is something that's not a good idea, and we saw it happen pre-World War II in Germany. We cannot allow this kind of thing to happen, and yes, it is a terrible thing if you consider Kanye a creative artist. I've got to be honest, I've never liked the man, never liked his music, and I just don't care for what he does. But there are millions of people who do, and those millions could be led down the wrong path. Now, in this case, most people seem to be shunning him, calling him out on Twitter and other places for the crazy comments he's been making of late. And let's be honest, Alex Jones' show is not the best place to be making remarks like that. Alex himself is facing more than $1 billion in payouts to the victims of the Sandy Hook massacre after 2 trials found him guilty in promoting the ridiculous conspiracy theory that it was all a staged act. Jones himself is not that well-strung, and obviously Ye is not well-strung either, and both men are paying for it. Kanye also had dinner recently with former President Trump, one of the people he admires in the world, and with him he brought a activist who is a known white supremacist. Now, Trump denied knowing that Ye's guess was such, but considering how much white supremacy stuff is dumped on the Trump administration, some of it true, some of it not, um, it's not surprising that he's denying knowing this guy. In any case, it's time to really take a look at what's going on with Ye and get him some help, and get him help fast. Um, he has never been all that tightly wound, and this last few weeks it has gotten uh, out of control to the point where it has reached a crescendo now with his constant anti Semitic rhetoric, his attempts to get it out into the media, and more. We cannot allow this to happen. It's like it's almost as bad as Holocaust deniers out there. And I'm sorry, there is no denying the fact that 6 million Jews died in concentration camps in Germany and the occupied territories during World War II. And for Ye to accuse the Jewish quotient of the business, show business, for holding him down is utterly ridiculous. A lot of Jewish people have been involved in Hollywood over the years, but not all of them are Jewish, and they've never really conspired to do anything, not just to Ye, but to anyone who feels that have been wronged. It's something you have to keep an eye on and have to keep a check on. So let's see, rather than continuing to just dismiss him, somebody needs to try and get Ye some help quickly. And that's this week's cover story. I don't have a lot on Out of the Box this week. I just got a couple of things. My first record store day, Black Friday um, uh, acquisition has arrived, and it is the one I wanted the most, I have to admit. This came from my friends at Park Avenue CDs in Orlando. Thank you. This is the second album from the San Francisco, Berkeley area based band, the Rubinoos. I have the OG of this, but I wanted to get the record store day copy of it. Back to the Drawing Board includes their minor hit "I Want to Be Your Boyfriend," which is quite well known for other versions done most likely by The Party in 1991 or 92. This album was the first album I got by them. I didn't get their first album until after this, and it is absolutely fantastic if you like garage pop. It is fun. This one I'm a bit disappointed did not come with a download code, but it does come on this cool ruby and black splatter vinyl. They didn't try to recreate the Berserkly label like they did on the first release last year either. Their first album was a record store day release, I believe, last Black Friday. And Park Avenue CDs also included a bag to store it in and a sticker for their store. I've done business with Park Avenue before. They always help me find the really hard to find stuff. I can usually grab it there. That's where I got my Rumors alternate copy a couple years ago. So that's really kind of cool to have. The other thing that came in this week was Series 2 of these new cards that I've, for some reason, have gotten into. These are the Legendary Decks series, as they're called. This is for a new online music-based card game that are being sold through Enjoy the Ride Records. I picked up the Series 2 set of 4 cards there, Legendary Decks on the front. There you go. I haven't listened to any of these. These just came yesterday while I was off. The first card is Rhythmic Traveler, Napoleon X. And these cards are basically the closest thing I'm going to get to getting NFTs, because you actually have something physical to hold on to. But each has exclusive music you can only get with the card and that little QR code on the card. Dark Ocarina, Cursed Instrument. Each one of these, of course, is going to be used in gameplay, and they are on hard PVC, so they are a lot more durable than your average game cards like Pokemon or Magic or those. The third one, if I can get it out of the sleeve, sometimes these sleeves are a little bit tight, is Axe Outlaw Villainous Summon. Got a guitar there, so obviously I bet that's a guitar-based song. And you can't download any of the music either. You have to listen to it on your phone, which is an interesting thing, unless you have a reader on your computer. And Rockhopper Virtuous Summon. And they all come on the Legendary Decks backup, and as you can see, they're very cool. They're a hard card, and as I said, each one of these plays original music on the Legendary Decks website, as we talked about a few weeks ago when I got the first two of these. I don't know how long I'm going to continue to collect them, but I like the music. And so this set was $30, I think it was. I think they're damn near sold out. $40, sorry. They are damn near sold out. I don't know when set 3 will be coming. Probably not that long, since the first set was only maybe 6 weeks ago. But we'll keep them in my collector's pile and listen to the music, and I'll let you know how it is on a future show. And that is this week's Out of the Box. This week on Inside the Booth, I wanted to tell you a little bit about some stuff coming up in the future on TKR Video Central. I have 2 new shows I'm working on that I'm set to premiere in January. Now, January will bring, I always update everything every year, so I'll probably have a new theme song for the show, or at least a new opening or something. We'll find out, because I'm actually going to pick up a new computer this week, I hope. But I will be working on 2 new shows that will be part of the TKR Video Central lineup every week, starting in January, or every other week. I'm not sure about the second one. The first one is a show I'm calling Yearly Rewind, and it is my take on the vinyl thread that's been going around for quite a while. I think it was started by Vinyl Richie. If I'm wrong, let me know who did start it so I can give proper credit. That's where people are going year by year, their top 10 albums of each year. I'm going to do mine a little bit differently. Mine's going to start in 1970. I was born in 1963, but I'm going to go with 1970 because that's when I first really started to buy music on 45s or whatever. And I'll have to go back through and find stuff. I haven't really started doing the research year by year yet, but I do know some of them from 1970 I'll be featuring on that first show. And I'll go every week, a year, each year in succession, 70, 71, 72, until I get to the 2000, and then I'll think about a second season with 2001 to 2023. We'll see what happens. In any case, I hope to start that in January. I'm not sure when in January, but I will be getting it going. The other one is a show I've been working on and I've been talking about for a couple of weeks. I have a fascination, as you know, with the charts, the record charts. I do my Radio Retro countdown every Sunday, based it on a different radio station playlist from any time between 1970 and 2010, basically. And I also have my own pop charts that I'm going to be updating, and I will bring that pop retro countdown, my charts, back eventually. But I also have a fascination with record labels. As a collector for years, not only do I love record label artwork, I also find it fascinating that labels can just explode and disappear in the space of a few short years. So I'm going to be looking at that phenomenon in a new show I'm calling Label Nova. That will be come out sometime. I think it's going to be every other week right now, but we'll see. There were a lot of labels when I was a kid that had meteoric success for 2 or 3 years and then just bankrupt instantly. And what I will be doing is talking about those labels, some of their artists, some of their hits, and hopefully we'll have Neil drops on that show, or song snippets, or whatever you want to call it. And I'll be looking at a number of labels. Now, some of them have been successful for quite a while. I do want to look eventually at the history of Casablanca Records, because despite the fact that it was successful, it was really only around from 1973 to 1983, when it was absorbed into Polygram. The music's still out there, and it was one of the most successful labels of all time, and RSO is the same way. But I also want to look at the labels that were smaller that had bigger hits, like the the Chelsea label, which was owned by Wes Farrell, who is best known as the producer of most of the Partridge Family music. Private Stock, which was owned by Larry Udall, who had several monster hits and then just went belly up. TK Records, which was owned by a conglomerate of friends in Miami that had like 8 or 9 different spin-off labels and still only lasted less than 10 years. We'll be looking at all of those. I love, not only because I want to talk about the artists, I love so many of the songs on those labels, but I also want to get into the designs and get into the people behind them and how they worked. Now, I'm not even going to get close to the real behind the scenes of the Casablanca story. If you want to see the real behind the story, there's a great book that came out a few years ago that I still haven't read the whole thing of, but it talks about how everything was fueled. And we will go into the successor label also that Neil did, Neil Bogart, which was Boardwalk Records, and there'll be other ones over the years. In any case, Label Nova will launch sometime in January as well, and it's just me mixing up things for the new year. I also have talked much and promoted twice and ended up pulling it because I wasn't happy with it. A mini-series I've been working on for almost 2 years called Summer of '78. Now, this is coming up in 5 months, 6 months. It'll be more, I think it's going to be Memorial Day weekend, although it may be the 4th of July weekend. We'll see what we're going to do. But my goal on Summer of '78 is to really blow people's minds. It's, I've been taking my time with it, and I haven't been happy with it, and I stopped doing it at the end of the Labor Day because it wasn't what I wanted it to be yet. This is going to be about one period in time, the summer of 1978, that I consider one of the most important summers ever for music, and I think everybody will agree with me once they've seen the entire thing. 6 months, 100 songs, an amazing time, and I hope you'll like the way it's presented, and it will be coming up sometime in the late spring or early summer of 2023 when I finally am happy with it. This is a labor of love for me. It is, to this day, I consider that summer my summer coming of age as a true music artist, as a true collector, as a true fan, because of all the great music that was out there. And you can research it ahead of time by looking up the summer of '78 and seeing all the great stuff that was out. In any case, I hope you'll be on the lookout for that too when it comes out in probably either Memorial Day weekend or the 4th of July weekend. It's going to be one of those two. I am absolutely dead set on it, and I'm finally almost happy with it, so I think you'll really enjoy it. So those are just some of the stuff I've got going. I'm also working on a weekly trivia contest, just a quiz type thing that I'm having trouble formatting. It's been a problem. I actually started work on it back in September, and I haven't really gotten anywhere with it. In the meantime, there's a lot of great music quizzes out there. One of them done by Rob Skier Music, who is a great member of the VC. He does his right on the videos. This would be more of a taped presentation, like a lot of the other ones are, with just snippets and give you a chance to guess. And I hope that it eventually will get up there, and it's connected to Obscuria, so you'll be able to see that. In any case, check these out when they come. I hope to premiere. I hope that we will be premiering yearly recall in early January. There will be a new season of influencers coming in early January. Going to get Rank This back up online, and these other shows as well as this show and all those others I talk about. So in any case, thank you for watching, and I hope you'll be interested in checking out my new stuff. He hardly needs a spotlight, but I do need to spotlight him. Norman Maslov, Mazzy, to those of us who love him and consider him one of the grand poobahs of the vinyl community, has put up started his annual lists with his top 10 wankers of 2023. If you haven't listened to this yet, you need to. It is a funny and intelligent rant. He talks about a number of people, a number of events this year that are wanker worthy. And it's definitely something everybody needs to take a look at because it's Mazzy. Mazzy is always hard on his sleeve, gives his opinion, doesn't care if it pisses people off. Although in this case, he has good reason for all 10 of them. And I enjoyed it thoroughly when I watched it this morning. And this is actually one of the advantages of being a day late this week. He didn't post it till this morning, and I got a chance to watch it before doing my show. So, but it is a riot. And he talks about a lot of things that bug me, too. Well, he gets into the Ticketmaster thing, he gets into the Kanye thing, he gets into the MoFi controversy, and a few people that have driven him nuts this year. Surprisingly, not Eric Clapton, who he had a whole rant about earlier this year. But there is some good stuff on there, and it's Mazzy at his absolute best. So if you haven't seen it, there's a link to that particular episode in the show notes. Please go check out Mazzy's top 10 wankers of 2023. You will not regret it.
About today, we're going to talk about the cost of the hobby.
Yep. It doesn't have to cost you an arm and a leg and half your brain and your firstborn child.
We're not scalping. We're not trying to drive the price up because of scarcity.
Right. That's our problem. We're too practical.
I agree. Way too practical. Yeah, don't let my wife hear me say that. Be like, no, you're not. You're not practical enough.
Yeah. This week's shout out goes to my UK pal Jimmy Barnes. Jimmy actually wrote me an email to let me know about a contest he was doing, and so I'm going to let you guys know about his contest. Jimmy's asking you to answer just 3 or 4 questions and promote the contest on social media, and you'll get a few extra entries for that. Jimmy is in the UK. Like me, he's chart obsessed. He does this great show where he watches an episode of Top of the Pops and then reacts to it, which is just fantastic. I love Jimmy's channel, and if you guys haven't seen him, you definitely need to. But the contest is really simple, and I'm going to be entering it at some point in the next week. I really think it's really a great little thing to show, and it's some couple of interesting ways of looking at things, like show a couple of albums by an artist who had an album out in before 2000 and after 2000, which is actually kind of neat, and so that cuts off people that don't record anymore, people that didn't record. It'll be interesting to do. A lot of fun stuff. I like his channel. Not everything he does is VC oriented, but that's the way with a lot of the VC channels I watch. I watch a lot of stuff that's on the fringes of the vinyl community that isn't really considered vinyl community, like Ben Minot's channel, Out of the Archive. He does a lot of vinyl stuff, but not everything's music. Some of it is cable oriented, some of it is advertising oriented, some of it is PSA oriented, but it's really terrific, and that channel is great too. But Jimmy Barnes, this week's shout out. Jimmy, I can't wait to enter your contest. I'm going to be sending out those social media notices later today once I get it, or probably actually when I get the contest entry up, will probably be later this week. And I can't wait to participate, and I will email you back soon. Don't worry, because I got lots to talk about from your email. Thank you for emailing me and letting me know about the contest, and I hope everybody else will check it out as well. There is a link to the show notes to the contest video. In the back pages this week, I'm sorry this is a bit late, and I've missed ranked this week also. I wanted to do my top Def Leppard songs. I'm going to do that this week, but we've been dealing with an issue here at the house. It's been a little bit frustrating. We thought we had it taken care of, and then it wasn't again. So there's some interesting activity going on, and it's taking up a lot of my time. Also, over the next week I will be on vacation, and this time, damn it, this office is going to get done if it kills me. I've been actually we've been working around and redoing the entire house. I have a lot of stuff I want to do specifically for this week off work. And one of those things is to get things ready for next year for the VC and get my shows ready and get all the new stuff up and have everything going. But the first and foremost is to get this done. Now, I know you guys can't really see much of stuff in here, but everything beyond this little area is a mess. You can see a little bit of the mess right there where that lamp is. Behind it, boxes and boxes and boxes of garbage and crap and stuff I need to sort through. And I do have a stack of my 45s here that I finally got access to, but still haven't had time to start digitizing because I need to get them all in Discogs, number one, and number two, I have so much more I've yet to mix in. Thankfully, I have been discogging. I don't know how you'd say that. All the stuff I bought over the last, all the albums are done. All of the 45s I bought from Dawn and Mary and various other sources have been done as they've come in. So all I have left is my collection, and that's 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 boxes, drawer boxes full of singles. It's gonna take a while, but I will get those done eventually. And so eventually you'll have a whole list of everything I own, and I'm going to be digitizing a lot because now that I have access to them, I have actually dipped into it twice that I could get to. For my Thanksgiving Chuckles, I did Farrah by Marty Yance and Dancin' Johnson by Bill Saluga, both of which came from 45s. Those, oh, and so did do you know what time it is? Circa 8 in the Peanut Gallery, also off 45s. So I have had time to digitize a few things I've wanted to use. There's a lot in there I have yet to go. But I will be getting things done this week, and hopefully you'll see some improvements in the way this looks, improvements in the equipment. I do have plans this week to go purchase a new computer. This one's about on its last legs because of all the video work I do. And even though it's only not quite, I think it's 3 years old next month, I do want to go get a top-notch system and one that specializes in video production and audio production and stuff like that. And I've got some people at Micro Center working on things for me right now, so I'm going to go see them on Tuesday or Wednesday and pick things up. In any case, lot more stuff coming in the future, as I said, and I hope that you understand that it does, you know, everybody has their issues, and not everybody can follow this schedule. I keep getting told, I don't know how you do it, so many shows a week. Well, it's not easy, but it's what I enjoy, and it's what I do, and so that's what makes it fun, and hopefully I'll be able to keep doing that once I get things settled. But so now you know, if you don't hear from me in the next week, that's why I'm busy cleaning and doing things and dealing with this house issue. And thank you for your patience on getting this week's show up, and that is this week's Fact Pages. time for me to get on out of here this week. All this stuff I just talked about a couple of minutes ago has also caused a big lapse in my planned coverage for Junior Eurovision. I will get it done this week because it is actually next Sunday, so I need to get it going. If you have subscribed already to my channel, thank you. If you haven't, please do, and please leave a comment. One of the best things about the vinyl community is when I hear from you about what I post. I get stuff from the Obscuria and from this show and from Radio Retro. I would love hearing from you from all the stuff, and I really appreciate the time you take to write to me. And I try to write back and try to make sure that everybody gets an answer when I can. It's not always easy, but I have managed, and I've been keeping it up too, only over a couple days, so it's not going to wait 2 or 3 weeks like I did there because I just got so busy. In any case, check out my usual schedule of shows. Influencers is off until January. It's finished. I had my season finale last week, but it's normally Tuesdays at 4 when it is on. Maybe changing days for the January schedule. I will let you know later this month. I have Rank This Thursdays at 4 usually. I've missed the last 3 weeks, but this week I will be doing one. I think it's going to be my top Def Leppard songs, but it could be something else. This show is on every Saturday normally at 4. It'll be back on Saturday this coming week. And the Radio Retro Countdown Sundays at 4. And of course I have my daily show, TC's Obscuria Vaults, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. All of those are Eastern Time. Your time zone may vary wherever you live. Hopefully you'll continue to watch and comment and enjoy and spread the word, because hey, I'm getting close again to 500. Let's get up there. I keep fluctuating. I was way up at 580 something and 480 something after the contest, and I've trickled back down to 430, averaging between 428 and 432 over the last month. So let's move it back up, and hopefully people will take a look and enjoy what I do. It helps that I have so many people recommending me, which is really great, and I thank everybody that does that. Until next week, hopefully with a new look to the room and everything else, we'll see. I don't know, it may not get done until next weekend. I'm DC Kirkham, the Kirkham Report. We'll see you soon. Ciao, baby.